Let me tell you a story. It's a story about me going over to the Congress of the United States with the Quakers, the Friends Committee for National Legislation in Washington. Call came out of the blue and they said, would you go? Would you be our Quaker colonel? I said, I'm not a Quaker. They said, yeah, but we want you to go with us. I said, what do you want to go for? We want to talk about an Inc-Sea agreement. An Inc-Sea agreement is an incidents at sea agreement like the one we had with the Soviet Union for years that aims at keeping military forces, in this case mostly naval forces, that are in close proximity like those of Iran and the United States in the Persian Gulf, in the Sea of Oman and in the northern Indian Ocean right now, every day, 24/7, from having an accident that would lead to war. I said, yep, I'm with you, let's go. All we're going to talk about ostensibly is this Inc-Sea agreement. No-brainer. Every Republican, every Democrat, the Pentagon should have been in favor. I get to the Congress, same message everywhere I go. Oh, no problem with the Inc-Sea, no problem, no problem. Legislation will go through, no problem, no problem. What we want to talk about is Iran and America and the serious issue of war. Let's talk about that. Great, I'm with you, let's talk about it. And what I found was the most incredible ignorance of what it means to go to war with Iran. Because it does not mean a surgical strike by Israel, which would do no more than bounce the rocks. Israel does not have the military capability to attack Iran at the distance she would have to do it at. She does not have the tankers. Minimum number of tankers, 60. The only country in the world that has 60 tankers is the one you're living in. We would have to give Israel, she has 4 tankers, we'd have to give her at least 50 or 60 more, and probably 70, in order to account for logistic failures, for her to even carry out the raid, and then it would be one in and one out. Nothing. Rocks bouncing on the ground. So Israel cannot do major damage to Iran. The only country that can do that is the United States of America. We can mount, around the clock, 24/7, endless strikes on Iran until we run out of ordnance. But here we are talking about this, and I said to these Congress and their staffers, probably more importantly to their staffers, let me tell you how you would have to follow up in order to do anything serious about Iran's nuclear program. Because even if we bomb, as I just described, we're going to kill a lot of innocent people, men, women, and children. And we're going to do some major damage to every facility in Iran that we want to attack. But we are not going to stop them. In fact, we're probably going to accelerate them in getting a nuclear weapon. We're going to cause them to make the decision to get a nuclear weapon. So what's it going to take to eliminate Iran's nuclear program? An invasion. It's going to take 500,000 troops. It's going to take another 100 or 200,000 good allies, not El Salvador. It's going to require Britain, France, Germany, the Turks maybe, others, Indians, who have formidable land forces, and it's going to take 10 years and $2 trillion. And if you like, as Tony Zinni, former commander of Central Command, said, if you liked Iraq, you'll love Iran. Because that's what it's going to take. Now let me back up and tell you what I told them about the state of our land forces right now. Your armed forces, your Army and your Marines are broken. The suicide rate in the land forces of the United States right now is off the charts. A soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine commits suicide every 18 hours. That's how bad the situation is. You've seen a little bit of it in the killings in Afghanistan where the soldier went berserk and killed all the innocent women and children and men. This is just a symptom of what's happening to your land forces because they have been at war now for almost a decade plus. I have a major in my seminar at William & Mary who has 10 years in the Army. He has 46 months in Afghanistan or Iraq. This is the state of your land forces that are going to have to carry out this invasion. So, one senator asked me, does that mean we go back to the draft? The only way you're going to get sufficient forces to mount an invasion that will ensure Iran does not ever get a nuclear weapon is to do just that. How do you think that's going to pass with moms and dads all across this country who are sick and tired of war already?